100 days in Minecraft's nuclear winter. The first 50 were a good start, but the real fight starts now. Mutant beasts on one side, and an upgrade in weapons from the Modern Warfare mod that I just installed on the other. The skybase gets an upgrade to a proper sky fortress, and a bunch of other crazy things are to come. So let's get started. Day 51, and I'm checking out my base. We have our not too fancy barn, with the moo-moos here on the right, and the chickies here on the left. Then down the hall, we got the double greenhouse, which is making winter just barely livable. Got the corn, and of course my stinky onions, and the wheat for all of our animals. Then the humble bunker is still pretty solid. Let's not waste any time. I jump over the entrance bridge and get started fighting some zombies. Now you might notice the zombies are no longer huge. They're actually starting to fade away, and the mutant beasts are going to ramp up. Speaking of fighting, we're going to start today off with another blood moon. This will help me. It'll refresh my memory on how strong our defenses are and what goals I should set. First things first, I feel really exposed out here on the front line like this. I don't like this. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's super easy to fall off if you get shot. Yeah, I really need to fix this. I managed to run around and get back to safety. And it's just in time, because underneath me, a mutant zombie jumps up and slams down this poor skeleton. Then he lets out this scream, which I'm 100% not scared of at all. I throw together a quick little wall defense with a hole in the bottom, and I can use this to shoot down at a bunch of the zombies. But I'm doing so little damage, I need to set more traps and kill them quicker. On the start of day 52, I can see that there's lots of zombies. Okay, now watch this. If you down the mutant zombies, they get right back up with full health. If I want to finish them off completely, I need to run down and face them head on. The zombie mutants can summon a pack of regular zombies to fight for him. And then he can do this. It's an AoE attack, which I really hate. Now it's time to finish this guy. Slice, put down a crick, and then I burn him to finish him off. Wow. I'm actually pretty good at this here. But one mutant zombie, that's only the beginning. The other mutants are going to be a huge threat, so I'm going to need to use the new added mod. Modern Warfare 2, which of course adds guns, but also it adds new ores like sulfur, which is yellow, copper, which is green, and then lead, which is ugly. I also start heading to grab something else, which is important for guns, and that's slime. So we're going to head back to the swamp and try to farm some slimes. I spend the day by digging out in an area where I think slimes will spawn. While digging on day 53, I find a mine shaft, which I hope has some slimes. Is that a thing? Do slimes spawn in chests in a mine shaft? Well, I know cave spiders do. This is one of my least favorite mobs in the game. I'm a little panicked here, and I'm waiting at the end of this dead end, just praying, sweating that no more spiders crawl in. I turn around and I break into a building in the swamp biome. I need to fight through a few zombie spawners here, but I can't get to them. I pull back, and then I rush back in and go straight for the spawners. I'm trying to find slime any way I can. Step one is looking in the swamp biome here at night. Can't find any here. So then I start looking for slimes in the city. And nope, none here either. So then I spend a whole nother night out in the swamp looking for more slimes, but nope. I guess I just don't get any slimes. Fine, whatever. So it's taken 5 days, and the swamp seems kinda not to be working, so I decide I'm gonna head home. Now right here, this may look like I'm skipping and frolicking in the snow, but I swear this is a super serious skip. It takes a full day of super serious skipping, the triple S, but I do finally get home. I start smelting up all the ores that I collected on my journey, and I begin work on the next tactic for getting some slimes. Water traps. Part of Pam's Harvest Craft, the best mod there is. You can take a chest, and you can combine it with some string and a fishing rod, and you get a trap that you set in the water, and it will AFK fish for you. Put that there, check that tomorrow. Day 56, and it's time to get some bait for the traps. Now to start the cycle off, we need to grab some fish the old-fashioned way. I then get the bait, load the trap, now we wait. Oh, and while we're waiting, You guys can be entertained by me almost killing myself. And these aren't even mutant mobs either. This is just lazy fighting and me almost dying. I get down to 1 heart. Yeah, 1 heart away from dying on day 56 to just normal mobs, even in a nuclear winter. Only the best from the captain. And if you think that was scary, check this out. I find a mutant zombie down here at Y11. I almost died to a skeleton. Now I have to go through this. This time though, I was a little bit more focused for the fight. Instead of just slashing, I knew I had to run and hide and heal over and over and over. Popped out this side here, and I tried to find where he went. I saw the lava lake we were fighting in, and slowly I came around and flanked around the back of him. I made sure to take care of his zombie goons first, then I got a little lucky. He fell into some lava, lit himself on fire, and then when he went down, he was done for good. But now, I know that if mutants fall in lava, they can die without being set on fire up close. So this gave me an idea for the skybase. I healed, repaired, and dropped off all my ores, and on day 58, I started my next idea for getting slimes. I mined all the way down to Y11 and started strip mining. But instead of doing the classic 2x1 hole, I made a 3x3 tunnel so that if I found a slime chunk, the slimes could spawn. I spent all of day 58 digging this tunnel and subsequently slipping into tunnel madness. The tunnel madness is a well-known condition in Minecraft where you spend all day mining and you find nothing but sadness. I did find some silverfish. By the way, I asked this on my live stream, do silverfish mean you're close to a stronghold? I don't really know how that works. Day 59, and I head up to the surface so I can remember what the sun looks like, and then I go right back down into the caves. I find some zombies, and I beg them to be my friends since I'm so lonely down here. But zombies only want one thing, and it's disgusting. I do find some diamonds, so not a total waste of my time. But then I get right back to digging the tunnel, which is now longer than my render distance. Whew. Day 61, and I've been trying to get slimes for 10 days now. I need to get some guns, so I decide to change my tactics again. While digging, I find this safe underground lake, and then I go back to get my fish trap, which of course hasn't caught any fish, so I take it down to the lake underground. Right away, it uses up one of the baits, so I'm pretty sure it's working now. Day 62, more mining, and I gotta say, having so many diamonds is nice, so I can always keep repairing all my gear. But I check my traps and sadly not what I want. I'm looking for raw jellyfish. We can turn raw jellyfish into slimes, and slimes into the boom boom poles. I set up a walkway on day 63 just to make things a little easier, and then I get some string, which I combine with all the fish I caught in the trap, which makes more bait. With this, we can start a cycle of making bait and catching fish over and over, and we'll have guns in no time. But that's going to take a while. So on day 64, I wasn't done trying to find slimes the vanilla way. So I'm trying to make a tunnel bigger and go 5x5 this time. I'm also using my F3 menu to find the chunk lines. I don't want to build this tunnel on the border of a chunk line and have the slimes not spawn. Look, is it obvious? I don't know how to find slimes in Minecraft, okay? I'm trying here. I spend all week watching videos on how to do this. None of it worked. Seriously. But hey, you know what did work? Good old Pam's Harvestcraft fish traps. We got our first slime, and it only took 14 days. Yay. So that night, I decided I'm going all in on the fish traps. This is how I'm getting my slimes 100%. The bait for the fish trap needs a lot of string. Pam's Harvestcraft has us covered there too. I use my greenhouses and I grow some jute? I have no idea. But it makes string. So goodbye onions, hello Djibouti. Now I have a ton of fish bait, so I can keep working on AFK getting slimes. I'm just going to use the fish traps from now on. By the way, guys, I checked later that in this mod pack, the slime ball spawns were turned off the whole time. Can I get an oof in the comments? I grabbed some fried eggs, and some cornbread, and day 66, ladies and gentlemen. My smoke detector went off, so I had to go AFK all day just to get the thing to shut up. Oh, and also I had to check to make sure the house wasn't on fire. But hey, at least that gave the fish traps tons of time to collect some fish and not get any jellies. Now I wish I died in a fire. So I went to go grab some more wood, and I started crafting up some more fish traps. I wasn't gonna go like full industry here, but I did need some guns. I did promise you guys Modern Warfare already. So I started setting them all up and getting them loaded with a ton of bait like a pro. You could even call me a masturbator. Nice, demonetized after 3 videos. Speed run. Speaking of some obvious innuendos, on day 69, I'm gonna need to start wearing some protection. So I start getting some gunmetal smelting, and while the fish traps are trapping and the metals are smelting, it's time to get this base looking proper. Now, some of you who watched my 100 days of the zombie apocalypse might remember I had a bunker, and it was half buried in the ground. It kept me pretty safe. This is going to be an extension of that build. I'm making the slits in the front wall so I can see and shoot out while I take less fire from the arrows around me. And this right here gives me a pretty good sight line of the front ledge, also right below me, so this should work. One of the things I'm going to focus on is making sure I have a lot of ability to shoot under me, so I can clear out mobs that are massing under where I'm standing. Also, any zombies that try to build up will be easy targets if I plan this correctly. My main area of focus is on the corners here in the turrets, where I have the most degrees of fire, so I want to make these even more open. Day 70, and we get another jellyfish. Oh, but not in this trap. Or this one. Or this. Oh, come on! I go back to my base and eat my eggs in anger. And I get some more bait while I'm there too. Okay, now they should have some jelly. Okay, nope. And this one, nope. Oh no, if all these traps don't have jellyfish... am I a joke to you? I head home that afternoon, and I see I don't really have a good way to get into my base. So I break this little area down, and I make a door over some trapdoors. Then I start working on the left turret. When I get an idea, I run down to the mining tunnel, and I grab some obsidian, and I'm gonna need a lot of it. Finally, the traps are starting to get some jellyfish. In fact, we got 2. I get home, but I decide to go to bed before working on the next project. So here's my plan. Obsidian is a great defensive block, but I don't really have enough time to cover my whole base in obsidian. But I may at least have enough time to get the whole floor of this front defensive line built out of obsidian. That'll make me much safer from explosions and zombies trying to dig up. I know from the first 50 days, the most threatening thing that can happen is falling off of my skybase. So if the floors are safe and don't get broken, I'll be much safer and less likely to fall. So I decide to take it to the next level. I make a whole ring around the base, so I don't have any weak sides. 365 degrees of protection. What I'm doing now is I'm adding slabs behind where I'll be standing. So if I get hit by arrows and knocked back, I won't just fall out the back doors of my defenses. But because they're slabs, I'll still have a little angle to defend down as well. And finally, on day 73, things are starting to come together. I still need to add some more coverage and add a little bit more obsidian walkways, but I'm already feeling a lot safer up here. See, my fish traps are running out of bait really quickly. So that evening, I decide to run back to my base and start redoing my wheat greenhouse. I'm going to set this whole thing up with Djibouti too. Getting more string means getting more bait. I start day 73 off by having a little snowball fight with myself, because the zombies didn't want to play with me. I check and restock all of my fish traps. They're taking some time to get the jellies, but it's coming along pretty well. I get about 3 or 4 jellies a day, so that's pretty good. I spend the rest of this day farming obsidian. Alright, back to the fun part. I surround the whole base with obsidian. I get my back slabs completely done too, and I move on to making the front-facing firing slits. I get the whole right side ready, and even get started on the back side. But I still don't really want to work at night. I still have some holes in my defenses, and it's not really safe enough yet. Day 75, and I'm ready to get this sky fortress finished. And, I'm AFK again here, but honestly, guys, I think I'm just pooping, so, no smoke alarm excuse here. But, finally, that night, I do get some work done, and now, by day 76, the whole base has a wraparound firing bunker defense. I get some torches to melt the snow so that it doesn't slow me down while I'm trying to move around. And I do finally replace some of those stone floors with obsidian to complete the floor all the way around my base. Now at this point, I do keep adding on a few little things just to make things a bit safer, like a roof, so the mutant zombies can't actually fit inside of the floating trench. And now on day 77, we're finally getting these fishing traps going. I'm almost ready for my guns. I finish up putting some of these roofs around the rest of the trench, and I even put some stairs in certain access points of the trench that help me get around the base quicker. One of the things that I personally value when I'm building a base is easy ways of moving around. Back in my Rust days, I lived in way too many bases that were tight and cramped and hard to get around, and I'm not living like that again. I want a ton of quick access ways and jump ways that make it easier to go straight around wherever I want to be quickly. I also clear out a little secondary area to shoot down in case the zombies build up to the obsidian and I need to break their blocks that they build. I finally get enough jellies and the zombie tries to stop me, but sorry buddy, ain't gonna be that easy. Just before a new world event happens, I'm getting started. First, I craft my sulfur, my slime, and my graphite into synthetic polymer composite, then some graphite and some slime into carbon composite. I make gunmetal out of the ingots, and boom, there it is. Check this out, guys. The AK-101 semi-auto assault rifle. Whew. Finally, it's time to make the ammunition. I start by making some steel out of iron and coal for the magazines, and then we have some copper and gunpowder, which makes the ammo. Lots and lots of ammo. We craft up all the mags, and then you have to manually load each mag. This one holds 60 rounds. I am so pumped to try this thing out. I run outside, I'm pretty eager, but it's nighttime and I don't want to do anything stupid, so I decide to quickly run back to bed. We can test this in the morning. And it's morning. Time to see if all that work was worth it. I'm already seeing that it works pretty well with my defenses, so this should be pretty awesome. And I look out, and we got our very first test subject. I take my first shot, and the range is what I was hoping. It's similar to the real world. It handles pretty well, and there's a good amount of recoil, but that was to be expected. I'm trying to just get used to this, but I trip, and I fall into this melting pond. I manage to get another shot at him, but he starts summoning his zombie boys. I think he might be invulnerable at this part. But as soon as he can take damage, he goes down. Even with the super nice addition to our arsenal, we still have to get up close and set these things on fire when he goes down. And the goons and this pond keep me from getting to him this time. I get stuck in this pond until he throws me up and out. He's putting up a decent fight, but as long as I play this smart, and I keep him and his zombies at a distance, the mutant zombies are basically no threat to me. With this 101 on my side, I'm good. So after fighting that mutant zombie yesterday, I remember that if the mutants fall in the lava, they can burn themselves. I don't need to get up close and set them on fire. I head to the nether to get some quick lava access, but then I see that I'm like level 73 and I'm way far up. So I head down and I make a portal down here for quick access. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't link, but they do. But this might be a good thing. It gave me a plan. What if I make a portal outside of my fortress that links to the portal back in my house? Sadly, this first attempt linked to the portal on the ground, which doesn't help me, so I broke it down. Now I'm making a portal just on the top of my mine. It's pretty close, but hey, let's give it a shot. So I head in, then I jump right back out, and bingo. That portal from down on the ground and the portal from deep in my mine both link back to my base. This is so good. Now I can break all the bridges and all the surrounding high ground in my area. I'll be even safer from the skeleton arrows. I even start cutting back the highway here near my base. This will keep the skeletons far from my front line. Now, this big mountain here might be a problem, but I'll deal with that later. For now, this floating sky fortress is looking so sick. To end that night, I head to the backside of the base, and I even start to slice away at this highway too, to keep me even safer here. Day 81, and I get back to the lava project. This is just taking things to the next level. This is already looking pretty great. I run down and grab some lava, and I lose this bucket, but then I just barely, I keep that little bucket there. And then that night, I keep working on the lava installment. Day 82, and I realized that with all this portaling up, I don't really have a way to get down. I mean, I've just kind of been making a waterfall in the meantime. I make a little water elevator to get down, but because it's winter, it freezes. I'm gonna have to fix that. Also, I gotta get rid of this mountain. No one's allowed to get higher than me. I keep adding lava all through that night until day 83. It's looking pretty good. Now, it takes a lot of legwork to get the lava up here, even with portals. So, I only managed to get the left side done so far. I also spend that day breaking down the old highway supports so the zombies can't use those to climb back in or hide behind them. Now, I really need to figure out a better way to get down here and stop the water from freezing, but honestly, I'm still obsessed with all this lava. Look, I've got almost the whole platform set. Even the right half is looking pretty good now too. You guys might have noticed, I left the front part of the base without any lava. I did that on purpose, because I need to be able to shoot down the front and the back side to keep mobs from hiding underneath my base. Day 85, using this waterfall to get down, and not loving it, and getting more lava for the rest of the base. Okay, seriously, I'm finally gonna fix this. Now here, I don't really want a waterfall to get down, it's just too slow. I just want to fall straight down into some water. So I make a pond down here, just a little bit larger and easier to hit. And finally, that night, I do finish the entire lava wall around the base. I take a lap around the base and feeling pretty good, you know? Looking safe, looking strong. Then I come across this. Look, my barn is on fire. It's raging. The whole thing is halfway burnt down. No way. I run around trying to put everything out manually, but there's just some of the flames that are like, it's inaccessible. I can't get to them in time. So the fire keeps restarting up again and again. I keep trying to run around, and I keep trying to keep things under control, but no matter what, it's just spreading faster than I'm putting it out. I run to my infinite water source, and I'm so lucky I have this here. I grab some buckets, and I run to the roof. This manages to put out the fire that was in the inaccessible spots before. With a little bit more water and a little bit of running around, I can get things under control. Oh man, so much damage. I realize the fire spread from the lava that I put in. So I break this iron bar railing and I make it into stone so the fire can't spread up again. Oh, these poor little guys. I kind of feel bad. I try to rally them all up and get them to trust me again and come back into their pen. And I get most of them, but I know that some of them are still going to be loose just running around my base. I seal them in and try to make a temporary wall in the back to hold them in while I'm working on repairs. Look at this. Now it's really not fancy. So, on day 87, I'm trying to get some wood and working on repairing the barn. And I should probably be working on something more practical. You know, better defenses. But you know what? I'm gonna fix this barn. I'm gonna make it fancy. And you know why I'm fixing this barn? Because it's fancy. And I like fancy things, okay? This whole base, yeah, maybe it's good for defense, maybe it's practical, but at the end of the day, I do this because I like my things fancy, okay? Fine, I admit it. I spent a whole day fixing everything, but it was worth it. I get the inside patched up here so the chickens are all safe. And I start thinking of a way to deal with this hill here. So, I go around and I start collecting some sand. And you know what that means. It's TNT time. Now, is this the most resource-efficient way to clear the mountain? No. But I don't care. I've got the Modern Warfare mod on. I can literally go around and mine gunpowder everywhere. If I want to spend a whole day running around going boom, then I'm going to spend a whole day running around going boom. And then I'll spend a whole night running around going boom too. And, oh, wow. I guess I spend another day going boom. Okay, now this might be a little bit excessive, I'll admit. I start breaking down the remainder of the mountain by hand, and I have a good, solid high ground established. Obi-Wan would be proud. I decide I wanted a little pond with some fish here, so I add them to my infinity water source, and I'm sure they're fine. That night, I run out into the city to see what's left to loot. The city is still overrun with mobs, and it doesn't look like this place is going to be safe anytime soon. For the next 100 days, I'm gonna need to find a safer area to spend my spring. But for now, I'm fighting my way through the mobs and finding some pretty good loot in the process. Look at this. Whole block of diamonds. Wow. Day 91, and I finally pop out of the city and I start running back to my base. And I mean, look at this base. Built onto a highway, turned into a floating sky fortress with full barn, greenhouse, nether portal access, and a huge wraparound obsidian lava bunker trench defense system is so cool. I head out again and try to find some more good loot when I get hit by a blood moon. I might have been a little too cocky for these last 10 days here. The mutant beasts are really coming out now, and I see this mutant enderman. I'm also being shot by a mutant skeleton that's poisoning me, so I just have to run and try to find a place to hide. I end up in this building, trying to block myself in, and just when I think I'm safe, a creeper blasts his way in, and I have to run, and I hide down here underground and just spend the night. Day 93, and I'm starting to realize that there are a ton more mutant beasts now. This last 10 days, they're really getting dangerous. I see an enderman flash, and then I see this massive mutant enderman in my base now. They teleport in just that easy. Luckily, I don't think he can fit inside of the small trench, but I do see that he can move around blocks, so I'm still gonna need to kill him as quickly as I can. I get some good hits in, but he starts knocking me around and taking blocks out of my back wall. I'm glad I built this here. He also has a blinding attack, and half the time through this fight, I can't see anything. I finally managed to get my sight back, and I start hitting him. Got him. This is his final death here, and it could be a real disaster if he throws me off my walls and over the side. Luckily, I get thrown into the base, and then he does finally die. I go run up and inspect the damage, and I see he's taken a few chunks out of my floor and wall. I need to be careful fighting these things. This could be a little dangerous. Day 94, I start repairing all that enderman damage. Normally, I'd get pretty excited at this part in the video. I'm almost done with the challenge. Now I really need to be careful. The next 6 days, I'll be fighting all of the mutant beasts all at once. I spend most of this day patrolling. That night, I hold up in my walls again, and I see another mutant enderman. I try to get a better angle on him, so I open my door, and when I hit him, he pulls me forward and out of the base. I'm at half health, lost and blind. And when I finally can see again, I find out I'm surrounded by mutant beasts. This is the worst case scenario. I try and get back to my portal and get home, but I run into a mutant skeleton. At first, I think I should just run away, but I know if I try to run over to my portal, I'll have to sit there for half a second before I go in, and I don't want to just be a sitting duck. I try to fight him, but I'm not sure what he can do, and I'm surrounded by mobs. So after this short attempt, I just have to run to safety. The next day, I run back to my front defenses to see how I can improve and not repeat last night. I can hit this zombie easily if I look at my front door, but the mutant endermans can pull me out of here. Now I can see I have a couple of blind spots when I'm sitting inside the safe part of my front wall. So I take a minute, try to figure out how to move around my slits to make them work. I'm gonna stagger the slabs, so I'm still gonna have a good amount of protection, but I'll be able to find some better angles. Now, I can hit the zombie from a safe spot. Bingo. I take my time, land my shots, and I work this guy down. But I know I'm gonna need to rush over to finish him in time. But in my haste, I forget that I don't have high jump on these boots, and I miss my water. I take a huge hit, and of course, I didn't manage to finish the zombie off, because I'm just that terrible. But I turn, and I burst him down again. I run up with a bucket of lava, which does finish him off. That's good, because I wasn't really sure this was going to work. That night, I'm going to get to test my new staggered defenses. I want to see if I can keep myself from falling out and still be able to hit all the mobs outside. I see a mutant creeper, and I pop off some shots till he disappears. I wait, because I think he's about to do his death explosion, and he does. So the stagger defenses work. Next, I see this mutant zombie. I enchanted my bow with flame earlier in the day, and I'm hoping that once I can knock him down, I can hit him and burn him without getting up close. But it looks like it isn't lighting him, and sure enough, he does get back up. Next is another mutant enderman. I unload on him, and I think I should have killed him, but I look around and I can't see him. And then down there, sure enough, he's teleported down as he died. Now, all the other mobs get to experience his death attack. It's kind of cool when it's not happening to you. Day 96, and I'm out on patrol when I find a mutant skeleton. Now I can try to figure out how to kill these things. And, oh, wow, okay. I guess the answer is just shoot them. Like a lot. I keep clearing out the area around my base, and I see this massive crater here. This happened because of the General Disasters mod. This world is tearing itself apart. Even up in my fortress, this place is still too dangerous. Day 97, and I'm down in the mine farming some obsidian, but even down here, a mutant creeper still finds me. Now I'm using a bow here because this bow has multi-shot, so it's kind of like a shotgun. And it helps me take out all the mini creepers that the mutant creeper drops before they can get to me. I kite this guy, and I down him from a distance. When he dies, I take a few steps back, cause I know his death attack is gonna be a huge supercharged explosion. If one of these blows up in my base, whew. That night, I'm home safe in my battlements, but I see a mutant skeleton below me. Only problem with mutant skeletons is they can still hit me when I'm up in my base. Now, I'm not sure if they have super good aim and they can still hit me through the little slits better than normal skeletons, or if they can shoot through walls, but either way, they can still hit me from up here. Right now, this is my biggest danger. The only way to stop this is to just find the mutant skeletons and go full auto. I need to be aggressive whenever I find these guys, even if that means using up a lot of ammo. Day 98. I see a mutant creeper over near my mine entrance, so I decide I'm going to take him out safely from a distance over here. I'm taking my time. I'm only shooting when I'm sure I'm going to land my shots to save a little bit of ammo for the next 2 nights. Whoa. Did you see that? It kind of looked like he just threw these mini creepers up on my wall. I hope that's not a real thing. Now the rest of the day, and the rest of this whole playthrough, is just me getting my supplies and getting ready for the last fight. First, I'm going to use some obsidian that I farmed from yesterday and make a few hard defensive points in my base. If the creepers can throw up mini creepers and the mutant skeletons can hit me through my slits, I'll need an area that is 100% safe and secure to hide and heal. So I make 2 of these shelters out front, and I even make one deep inside of my house to keep my bed safe. This might be my last stand. Next, I just get a ton of food, which is not too exciting. Then a ton of ammo, which is very exciting. Craft up my mags, load them all up throughout the entire night, and by day 99, I've almost got a full inventory of 60 round mags. And I'm going to need them too, because it's the last day, and this is going to be the final mega fight. I make some last minute changes that I think should help. I take some of the higher slabs on my staggered defenses, and I make them into upside down stairs. I do this in the corner turrets too, because it lets me hang over the edge and shoot directly below me, but I can't fall through, and I should stay up here. Perfect. Hope I didn't forget anything. I start off this night with a mutant creeper. He ends up right below me, but with this new setup, I can drill him and make quick work of him. Now I should be high enough so that I'm safe from his final death explosion. Whew! This is why we have obsidian floors. I head over to my right side to go fight another creeper, only this one gets a little tricky. He shoots his mini creepers at me, and one of them gets a perfect direct hit on me. I back off, and I heal. I don't think I need to hide in my shelters just yet. The defenses managed to keep all the other mini creepers away. The fort, it's taking damage, but it should hold. I see an enderman down there, and I get a little distracted. I didn't even see this zombie. He builds straight up to me. But the defenses hold him back, and I can break down his build in no time. Then, that enderman comes back. He can divide up into a ton of normal-sized endermen. Now these ones can fit inside of the front part of my wall, so I need to pull back into the side wall. I really make sure to keep my wits about me here, and make sure I don't let any slip. But I do manage to finish him off. Next, I see a mutant skeleton. I've almost fought one of each mutant. He can still poison me, and he can still shoot me through my walls, so I desperately need to pull back again. I grab some milk, and I come back to finish him off. I gotta say, it feels good to waste these guys. I hate them so much. See another one over here, but I managed to take him out. Now, all that's left is this mutant zombie. And, as the day breaks, the fortress holds. It's taken a beating, for sure, but it has held. Now I cautiously poke my head out to clear the last of the mutants. First, this little creeper. Easy. Then, I finally get my jump right, and I come down to finish off this last mutant zombie. I managed to build a fortress that could hold back and defeat the winter mutants. But next, the spring has new challenges. But I'll be ready.